Now on to our next cookie. We have our cute little cactus in a pot. And for this cookie, I am going to use some pink, white, and green. It's always a good idea to take a look back at the cookies that you've already decorated and make sure that you're using a good mix of colors. You don't want to end up with too many of one color. This way it gives it a little bit more variety. I'm going to start by outlining and filling in the pot, but I'm going to do this in two segments. I talked earlier about icing that connects all together at one time, or icing that looks a little bit more separated. And we're going to do that second part here. So I'm going to start by outlining just the top of the pot. I'm going to start at a corner, and I'm going to touch my icing bag down at each corner. That way I get a little bit more definition. I want to have some sharp edges there. I'm going to come all the way across. And I'm going to outline the bottom. Again, setting my icing down at those corners so they have that nice definition. And I'm going to let that set for a little bit before I start filling it in. And the reason why is because I want the top of the pot to be well defined from the bottom. So I'm going to grab my green icing next, and I'm going to outline the top of the cactus, but I'm not going to do this little flower part. I'm going to come back and add a different color there. And then I'm going to pick this up and give the cookie a nice up. See, that's why you have to be careful with and I apologize. For those of you that are also working from home, you know that it comes with its challenges. Right now, one of our cats is carrying a toy around in her mouth, and you can probably hear her making some noises in the background. There we go. So after giving it a good little shake, you see how it's got that nice smooth finish to it. You don't want to have like any big craters in there. If you do, then just add a little bit more icing to it. Now I'm going to come in and fill in the bottom part of my pot. I'm going to give this one a little bit of a shake too. I'm trying to be more careful this time. Again, that little shake and tapping just allows that icing to settle in nicely. And then I'm going to put a little flower up here on top. You could also do what we call the wet on wet technique. When you have icing that's just been put down and it's still wet, you can come in with a different color and add a little design to it. You want to do this while it's still wet so that the second color kind of drops in and it dries with that nice even finish. So I'm going to add a little dots to my flower pot here. Again, using that toothpick, you can help push those down just a little bit if you need to. And then I'm going to let this dry for a little bit before I come back in and fill in the middle. The reason for that is I want to see that clear definition between the top and bottom of the pots. And if I were to fill that in right now, they would just blend together. So I'm going to safely move this out of my work zone, and I'll come back to it in a little bit.